If you want to master Russian, Polish, or any other Slavic language, Tagalog, Filipino, and related languages, there's one thing that you cannot escape, and that is the concept of perfective and imperfective verbs. Without it, you'll sound clumsy, you'll miss subtle meaning, and you'll constantly trip over native speech. Here's the twist. Slavic languages and Tagalog both have this contrast, perfective versus imperfective verbs, but they are based on completely different foundations. And that difference changes everything about how you learn and use them. Perfective means a completed, whole, bounded action. In Russian, for example, sdělal, did. In Tagalog, nagtrabajo, worked. Imperfective means an ongoing, repeated, or unbounded action, something habitual, for example. In Russian, dělal was doing or used to do. In Tagalog, nagtatrabajo is working or works. On the surface, these look similar. Under the hood, they're really different machines. First, we have morphology versus lexicon. In Slavic languages, aspect is often lexical. You literally have two different verbs. Pisać, imperfective, to write, and napisać, perfective, to write to completion. In Tagalog, aspect is morphological. You keep the same root and change it with affixes or reduplication. For example, a loan word from Spanish, to work. Trabajo, nagtrabajo, it's completed. Nagtatrabajo, it's ongoing. Magtrabajo, it's in the future. The second is tense interaction. In Slavic, you always have both aspect and tense. For example, take the Russian chitach, imperfective, to read, and prachitach, perfective, to read all the way through, to finish reading it. Imperfective present, ya chitayo knigu, I'm reading a book right now, ongoing, not talking about reading it to the end, I'm just reading. And the perfective present, ya prachitayo knigu, literally, I will read the book to completion. It's not truly present, it's a future commitment to finish it. In English, you might say, I read it till I'm finished. But in Russian, perfective simply can't be used for a genuine present action. In Tagalog, there is no grammatical tense. The time comes from context. Aspect is primary. Nagtrabajo might mean worked earlier today or has already worked minutes ago or years ago. Nagtatrabajo could be is working now or works regularly. Then third, we have habitual actions. In Slavic, imperfective plus the right tense handles habitual actions. Он работает каждый день. He works every day. In Tagalog, the imperfective form handles both ongoing and habitual. Context tells you whether it's happening now or regularly, habitually. Languages around the world handle tense and aspect in different ways. Some have no grammatical tense at all, as I have mentioned in other videos. Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese are some examples. They rely entirely on aspect markers and context to tell you when something happened. Some languages lean heavily on tense, such as Spanish and Portuguese and Italian. They have rich tense systems, and aspect is built into these tenses. And then there's English, which is unusual. You could argue, as I did in another video, that it only has two tenses, German too, past and non-past, and that most of the so-called tenses are actually combinations of tense with aspect, like the present perfect or past progressive. Slavic and Tagalog sit in interesting places on this spectrum. Slavic languages have both tense and a strict built-in aspect system. Tagalog, like Chinese or Thai, has no tense. Aspect does the heavy lifting. and time reference comes from context. In Russian, Polish, or any other Slavic language, aspect is unavoidable. You must choose perfective or imperfective every time you speak. That neat binary made it the perfect teaching example. And that is why so many people think the concept of perfective and imperfective verbs comes from Slavic languages, even though it doesn't. Ancient Greek and Latin already had aspectual distinctions. Greek had the aorist for completed events, the imperfect for ongoing events, and the perfect for the states resulting from past actions. Latin used the terms perfectum, completed, and imperfectum, not completed. Latin grammar spread across Europe, carrying these terms everywhere. In the 18th and 19th century, Slavic grammarians took these old Latin labels and applied them purely to aspect, not tense. 20th century linguists used Slavic languages as a textbook example, and it stuck. Today, linguists apply the terms to many languages, including Tagalog. So here's the big takeaway. Perfective versus imperfective is an ancient idea, but the way Slavic and Tagalog use it is completely different. Slavic languages split it in the lexical level. Two separate verbs. Tagalog marks it morphologically. One root, changing forms. If you learn one system, you won't automatically master the other. But if you truly understand both, you'll unlock a new way of thinking about time, action, and meaning in any language you study. I hope this has been meaningful to you and will help you in your language studies. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. If you would like to know more about my experience over the past 5 decades, learning and using more than 30 languages around the globe, with adventures in 101 countries so far, then please visit my website, polyglotdreams.com. There you will find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages, translated in various languages and integrated with audio and dual readers to offer a great way to improve your target languages.